Welcome to Immortal Empires, where we're finally going to be playing the Lizardmen. Of course, a few weeks ago I did pull up a community poll and you guys decided to vote for Kroq-Gar. So here we are. We're gonna carry out the plan of the old ones. And it looks like the first enemy we have to deal with is the Skaven. So we will be taking out those momentarily. But before we do that, let's go ahead and see what Kroq-Gar has to offer us. So up here on the top right, you can see we have minus 15% upkeep for armies led by Saurus Oldbloods. So that's quite a nice buff there. Should help our economy quite a bit. And Saurus buildings grant additional bonuses to Saurus-Scar veterans and Saurus Oldbloods. Also very nice. And plus 1% weapon strength per character rank for Saurus-Scar veterans and Saurus Oldbloods. Also quite a strong one there. And then plus 30% character experience gain for Saurus-Scar veterans and Saurus Oldbloods. So as you can see, we're very much a Saurus buffing faction here. If we go into Kroq-Gar's details, we can see if he has any more effects. In fact, he does. So as you can see here, minus 15% upkeep for the Lord's Army, plus 25% ambush success chance for the Lord's Army, and also plus 25% for Saurus Warriors and Cold One Rider units in the Lord's Army. Quite strong there, and I believe these are the ones we just read out. There we go. And of course Kroq-Gar is very strong because of these skills up here, where he can gain buffs against each faction we're currently going against. So before we get into that, let's take a look at our Skink Priest here. The Law of Heavens. What traits did we get? Perceptive. Plus 15% magic item drop chance and plus 10% campaign line of sight. Not too bad. We could have got something much worse for that. We do have a Blessed Saurus Warrior unit there, so that should help us out in the very beginning. If we take a look at our rights here, the Right of Primeval Glory, of course, very expensive, and if we use it too early, we will go bankrupt. But we could get an army of dinosaurs there. We have the Right of Soul Tech, causes attrition to enemy armies within your territory, plus 50% ambush success chance, plus 10 melee attack for skink units. We probably won't be using skinks, we're going to focus on Saurus units. Plus 15% weapon strength for skink units again, and then plus 20% missile strength for skinks. We also have the Right of Ferocity, so plus 80 unit experience gain per turn, plus 25% income from post-battle loot, plus 2 recruitment rank, and plus 1 recruitment local recruitment capacity faction-wide. So that could be very good if we need to recruit an army fast. And then of course the Rite of Awakening, we can get a Slan Mage Priest, which we will be making use of that one. So without further ado, let's go ahead and fight this Skaven army. They do have 7 units, we have 9. So let's go and see what our army looks like in battle. It's going to be a close victory, but of course we always start out the first battle fighting manually. So let's go ahead and do this and take a close-up of our units here. So here we go, the first battle of the new series here. And let's try and get a close-up of some of our units. Let's turn off the UI, there we go. So there's our Skink Priest there, all feathered up, looking quite cool. And if we head just over here, Kroq-Gar, of course with that amazing golden arm. He does look quite badass. And actually we're going to get a second view here. Of course, spear in hand, and then just behind him there's our blessed Saurus units mixed in with some of our skink javelins there. Of course, Saurus warriors we have plenty of buffs for, and if we go over to the left flank, we are missing a few units, deciding to go for just trying to get behind the enemy here. We do have our cold ones. There we go, they do look awesome. And then of course the big selling point, at least for me, for the Lizardmen is our dinosaurs. And there we have a feral stegodon. What? Oh, it just looks so badass. Of course, I think everyone has a secret liking for dinosaurs, but as we head on back over to our main army here, you can see the Skaven doing what the Skaven do best. They summon from below there, trying to harass us, but we dealt with that very quickly. Of course, rats, no trouble there for the reptiles of Kroq-Gar. In fact, Kroq-Gar choosing to chase them off as he does a little spin with his spear there. Or was it a halberd? I'm not too sure actually. Kroq-Gar just making sure that they do fully retreat and don't pester his army no more. Our skinks also getting in some shots. If we head on over here, you can see plenty of Skaven using the trees for cover. And Kroq-Gar preparing to charge straight into battle as he buffs himself there some leadership. Going in against these Plague Monks, I think they are. There we go, Plague Monk Sensor Borers, or Bearers. Kroq-Gar there, engaging in melee. Oh, very agile for a lizard of his size as he's slamming down his weapon there, spinning the tail. And there we go, just moving a little bit because the audio seemed to go a bit quiet on me there. So Kroq-Gar doing a great job in the background. You can see the Saurus warriors now coming a bit closer to also join the battle. And our skinks also throwing their javelins towards the Skaven slaves. And now we see our Saurus warriors joining the battle. Of course, they're quite tanky units with their shields as well, especially the blessed versions. As we can see a bunch of effects being cast off there. I'm not actually sure which effect that is. That might be a leadership buff that we cast down on the Saurus warriors. Kroq-Gar there buffing his melee defense so he can stay longer in battle. I think he's actually retreating a little bit there. Yeah, Kroq-Gar actually taking quite a bit of damage there, so not as tanky as some of the other lords we've played. But overall, I think this is a favourable matchup for us. As we go towards the background here, our Stegodon charging into battle. Whoa! Sending the Skaven flying in a sheet of blood. Just look at that, the Skaven breaking instantly almost. The Stegodon there is going to rip through the ranks of rats very easily. In fact, I think there's only 2 units now engaged. In the background, our cold ones in the forest as well, dealing with that Skaven slave slingers units. They're actually retreating from the battle. Kroq-Gar deciding to come back and get stuck in. Of course, leading his lizardmen. As we get a nice view of the battle here, we see some Saurus warriors in the distance, going for the flank as well. Just there. And our Stegodon, or yeah, just freeze him for a second. There we go. I think he got a bit tied down by friendly units, but he's making up for it now with a mighty charge. And that might be the Horn of Retreat for the Skaven here. I'm not too sure. There we go. We still have a few units actually returning to battle. Kroq-Gar deciding to chase the enemy lord off. The enemy lord does not want to fight today. Let's go up for a close-up on the front lines as we see plenty of debuffs going off there. The Stegodon again just ripping through the enemy, and again the Skaven already breaking. They don't have good leadership to begin with, so to face up to something like a dinosaur, you can imagine why they wouldn't last long. And there we go, that is already a decisive victory there. Okay, so a decisive victory there, always nice to start off with. Our Cold One Spear Riders getting a lot of kills, as well as our Blessed Saurus Warriors. Kroq-Gar not as tanky as I thought he would be this early in the campaign, but of course once we level him up, he should be quite the warrior in battle. But let's get back to the campaign map here, because we still have more Skaven to fight, I believe, in the capital of our province. So there we go, 1.5k experience as well as the 300 gold, and we also got the glittering scales. So plus 4 armor, plus 5 melee defense, and a passive ability where all enemies in range lose 5 melee attack. That's actually very nice there. Now what should we do here? We could exterminate them for some experience. We could get replenish our army by 5% just so all of our units are fully healed, minus Kroq-Gar there. Or we could get 330 gold. I think we might have to get the unit replenishment, just because we are going to be sieging this turn as well, I believe. So let's go ahead and get that replenishment there, just so our units are ready for another battle. There we go. There's the armor. Enemy killed in battle. Very nice. So Kroq-Gar, of course, getting a level up there. let's go ahead and get Root Marcher. In fact, what's this here? Spawning of Xiotl. So 15% physical resistance, as well as minus 1% Vigor per second. That could be very nice. But I think we will just go ahead and get Root Marcher for now. Although, we can reach this settlement this turn, so it's not necessary. So maybe we even just get weapon strength and charge bonus. So we can just have a bit more killing power with Kroq-Gar here. In fact, or is the survivability more important? I think the physical resistance might be a bit more important here. So let's go ahead and get this just for this battle here. And then if we keep charging forwards, I believe this will be inhabited by Skaven. So quite a hard start here. In fact, the AI given us a valiant defeat. If we take a look at the terrain though, I think we might be able to get this one done. Yes, so if we look at the top here, it looks like kind of an easy way into the settlement that maybe we can deal some damage. So we will go ahead and fight this one because it is the capital of our province. So let's get straight into the battle. So here we go. The siege to try and capture the capital of our province here. You can see Kroq-Gar, our skink priest, our stegodon. I think it's a stegodon. There we go. And our cold ones here charging into the enemy gate to try and just break into the settlement. Behind the gate you can see plenty of rats waiting for us. The balance of power here slightly in our favour, even though the AI did give us a valiant defeat on the auto resolve. So kind of interesting how that one works out. The enemy already building a tower here as well. Of course, we don't really have a way to get rid of those towers. Our javelin units don't have too much ammunition. But as we come down here, the gate now beginning to take damage. And there we go, we finally break down the gate. We should see now, there's our stegodon, as well as Kroq-Gar and the cold ones deciding to charge into the settlement. The stegodon doing what the stegodon does best, sending those rats absolutely flying. Kroq-Gar also coming in to join the battle, throwing down a physical buff there. Of course, now he has that 15% physical resistance that he can use multiple times in a battle. Over to this flank, you can see our cold ones engaging 2 units of the Skaven here. Of course, they're on little mini dinosaurs there. Not as big as the stegodon, but still equally as scary. They should be dealing with those Skaven pretty nicely. And if we go into the background, you can now see our Saurus warriors coming into the settlement to also help out. So I think the balance of power in the actual manual battle is in our favour, so this should be kind of okay, but I expect we'll be taking a ton of damage. Of course, especially units like the stegodon, easy targets for the enemy missiles, which we actually see there. Some enemy missile units engage the stegodon. The stegodon actually trying to push through this unit here. I think he's trying to reach these Skaven slave slingers in the background, but he does decide to shift his focus there and just attack the rats immediately around him, as we see him charge forward with a massive chomp there. Just wow, imagine an army of dinosaurs. I'm sure at some point in this series we will manage such a thing. But the stegodon there taking quite a bit of damage as it actually goes rampage now. That is one downside to them. Our cold ones, also a few of them coming over to help the stegodon. And in the background here we can see now more of our Saurus warriors able to join the battle to take on the rat. The rat's quite tall here. In fact, this is even, I believe those are skinks there making their way in. They are indeed. So the skinks coming in to join in the battle. Of course, not really able to shoot over the walls from outside of the settlement. Kroq-Gar came into the battle damaged, but he hasn't taken too much damage in the battle. Already getting 42 kills. Doing very well here, despite surrounding himself in rats, as we see him get off a massive attack. The leadership there falling apart for the Rats, as we often see. Of course, later on, Kroq-Gar here will get access to a... I forget what it's called. A carnival. I believe that's the name. I'll have to double check that one on the campaign map. But yes, he does get access to a very fearsome dinosaur. Much more fearsome than the Stegodon. As we see now the Skaven beginning to retreat. We have gained some ground as we just buffed the leadership there. The Stegodon in the distance. One of our Saurus units there chasing the enemy up the hill just to make sure they do retreat. If we look behind us, we actually put our skinks up onto the walls, so that's what they were trying to do. So able to shoot down on the enemy here, although they still don't have too much range. Only a range of 96 there, so not the best. As now we push the Skaven up the hill into the caverns. Of course, a natural defense from their towers. Their towers won't be able to shoot in on us here, so it made sense to push this way. As we see the cold ones charging in, and the Stegodon following closely behind. Absolutely brutal scenes here. Oh, I'm so happy they finally added the blood DLC to the game. It makes it much more enjoyable as we throw down another leadership buff there. Very nice indeed. If we check the balance of power, it has shifted very slightly in our favour now. So we've wiped out roughly 800 of the enemy, and we've only lost 50 of our own units. So we're actually doing very strong in the battle so far. The Stegodon marching straight into the middle of all of the Rats there. Just look at him go. Or her. In fact, how do you tell the gender of a Stegodon? I'm not too sure. As we see the Saurus warriors now charging in to help. Of course, they have spears. Interesting thing for me is the spears have more melee defense, even though they don't have a better shield or anything. Just thought that's a little bit interesting when I checked. And then you can see we're being flanked there by a Skaven Slave Spears unit. And also a Clan Rat, but our Javelin unit should be able to take care of them as they maneuver into position. There we go, we see them shooting in their Javelins. Not doing too much damage. There we go, now the damage is coming in. And the Clan Rat unit there already wavering. In fact, I think they are about to retreat from the battle. As we just see that health ball melting away. There we go. The Javelin's already dealing with them. And now they can charge into the back of the Skaven Spears. Of course, our blessed Saurus units there deciding to tie them down. And there we go. They are gone. And we also see our cold ones retreating from battle. Heavily damaged. Only 5 units left. Or 5 models left in the units. We just see another one die. But let's get back to the main part of the battle here. Kroq-Gar is Stegodon, our skink priest, all trying to fight the Clan Rats or the Skaven. So we see the Stegodon go in for another massive charge there, and swinging his tail. Of course, the spikes there would do amazing damage to anything in its way. And again, we can see the Saurus warriors charging in, throwing a leadership buff onto the Stegodon. And now we see a few of our own Javelins entering the mix. I think we hear the horns of retreat there as we zoom out. Indeed, there we go. You can see the Skaven just running off the map here. They do have a few more units in reserve, but these units here do seem to be breaking. We are getting flanked by another Skaven Slave Spear unit. This Clan Rat here trying to run away, but the Stegodon really tying them down. Let's get a nice close-up here. I believe this is the closing stages of the battle now, as we hear another horn of retreat there. Oh ho ho! So you see a massive wave of blood. The Stegodon doing its thing. You love to see it. I feel like this is going to be one of those series or characters that I really like watching their battles back, just watching dinosaurs do their thing. And now we do see a mass retreat from the Skaven. All of our lizards chasing them down, and that is a Pyrrhic victory there for us. There we go. It's a Pyrrhic victory, but the AI did give us a valiant defeat, so we did better than expected there, and we didn't lose any units. We almost lost our Cold One Spear Riders here, but everyone managing to get plenty of kills and everyone survived, so that's the important thing. More importantly, we did take back the capital of our province on turn 1, so that will help us a little bit here with the tempo in the early game. So 500 gold there and 1.5k experience, the experience really not reflecting the difficulty of that battle there. But at least we still got a level up, and we will go ahead and occupy this, of course. And Clan Mordkin have been revealed, so they're likely going to be controlling the cursed jungle. In fact, if we click on that, you can see there is Skaven corruption increasing. But we have secured the Golden Pass. So very nice there, and we've unlocked the Rite of Sotek. Invoking the Serpent God makes the jungles themselves turn against the intruders and interlopers who dare invade his realm. This rite is now available. So the Rite of Sotek, this is this one, the one that causes attrition to enemy armies, ambush chance, and a lot of buff to skink units there. If we go over to Kroq-Gar, he did get a level up, so now is a good opportunity to take that campaign movement range. And then Ratok here, our skink priest with the Haven School, also got a level up. So let's see, we could go ahead and get some scouting, but I think we're just going to go down his magic tree. Of course, a lot of defensive buffs and such in the Heaven School, which is quite nice. We have the High Elves here, maybe we could have some good diplomacy with them. But for now, let's see, what can we build here? So the Golden Tower, oh, it actually has a unique building. So 600 gold per turn, plus 5 control, plus 8% research rate, and minus 5 corruption. That's incredibly strong there. So let's go ahead and build the Golden Tower of the Gods. Very nice. We also have an underground lagoon here, unlocks hero recruitment. Saurus Scar Veteran. So we could get one of those. It also gives us access to Saurus Warriors, so we will use that. And then in our province capital here, we do have a growth building. There we go. So I will keep that just because we want to level up our starting province. Let's go ahead and select this. So we have Alignment of War, which is minus 15% recruitment cost, plus 1 recruitment rank, plus 4 leadership, and plus 6 weapon strength. Or we can go for Alignment of Order, gives us some control, some plague prevention there, minus 10% enemy hero action success chance, minus 10% attrition when under siege, minus 2 corruption, and an army ability. So base missile damage, minus 25%, minus 30 accuracy. That could be quite nice. We have the Alignment of a Monument, plus 4% research rate, minus 1 construction time for all buildings. That could be very nice. And a chance of Winds of Magic increasing in strength when changing, plus 30%. Or we can get Alignment of Crafting, and of course plus 20 growth, plus 4% income from all buildings. We're going to go for that one off the bat. Let's take a look at our research tree. So we already have 2 here, plus 5 melee defense for Saurus units, plus 10% weapon strength for Saurus units. And this is the only tech we can research now, which is plus 5 melee attack for Saurus units. So let's go ahead and get that. I think that would be very nice. And then if we look over here, can we recruit any regiments of renown? Not currently. But we can recruit some Saurus warriors here. Let's see. The warriors without the spears have less melee defense, really. But they have more melee attack, more weapon strength, and more charge bonus. I think I will get the spears. They cost the same just because they have that extra melee defense. So let's go ahead and recruit 2 of those because, of course, we're probably going to go north to the cursed jungle here, the Kingdom of Beasts, just to make sure we do wipe out those Skaven. Let's go ahead and check our diplomacy. The Bowmen of Orion here. We can almost get a non-aggression pact with them. We can actually get a trade agreement with the Order of Lawmasters. I think I will do that. As long as they respect the Great Plan and the landscape, then we can go ahead and do that. And no more diplomacy to be had this turn. So, Already 30 minutes into recording here. Let's go ahead and end our turn 1. So, nothing happening during the end turn timer there. I am a bit skeptical about attacking this so soon. I feel like we should really start build a bigger army before we do attack them. So let's go ahead. In fact, can we build anything first? We cannot. So let's go ahead and build 2 more Saurus spears. There we go. And I didn't check. Can we recruit any heroes off the bat? We can. We can recruit a Saurus Scar veteran. So we can get one with tough, plus 25 armor, plus 5 melee defense. Seems quite nice. We can get Tactician, so plus 4 characters aura leadership effect and plus 25% leadership aura size. Could be okay, especially for our dinosaurs actually. Or Pompous, which gives minus 4 enemy leadership. I think I will go for the tough one in this case though, for that armor and melee defense. So let's go ahead and get a Scar veteran here. We will join him with our army next turn. And of course we're getting the Saurus spears there. That should be okay. Oh yeah, and of course we have the what's it called? Geomantic web here. So of course the more settlements that are owned by us and allies and such, it should power up the geomantic web. Right now we're only sitting at strength 2, I think this is. The strength of the geomantic web affects the power of commandments issued across your territory. A settlement must be linked to another of equal or higher strength if it is to operate at its maximum potential strength. The colour of the rings around settlements indicate the current strength of the geomantic web there. A pulsing ring indicates that a settlement is not operating at its maximum potential strength. Upgrade the strength of the web in nearby settlements if that is the case. So, I think this is okay, right? I think so. I guess we'll see as we expand. We'll get to understand what the web is about. And then if we look at our victory conditions here, so we got to destroy the following factions: Clan Morbidus, which is down to the south, and Oracles of Cinch, which is all the way down here in the southwest. So not too much. And then if we want a long campaign victory, a lot more to do there. But for now, let's go ahead to turn 3. Okay, so let's put our veteran here into our army. We can reach this turn if we wanted to. Do we have a big enough army? And of course we did now build the Golden Tower, which is very nice, so a boost to our economy here. Let's see. I did test him out a little bit, just for the first turn really, to see if these fights were possible. But I've never gotten this far. Let's see what kind of enemy is waiting for us here. So it's a close victory. They did actually recruit a new army, so just in time there. In fact, that could be an auto-resolve. We don't lose any units, so let's go ahead and do this. There we go, 1.4k gold and 1.7k XP there. And of course we will occupy this. More Skaven revealed. Of course, I imagine the Skaven are controlling all of these ruins. Skaven corruption going down there, but there is still Skaven corruption. And the Rite of Ferocity, an ancient observance that invigorates those reptiles who oppose trespassers, intruders and servants of the ancient enemy. So, the Rite of Ferocity. Plus 80 unit experience gain per turn, income from post-battle loot, recruitment rank and recruitment capacity. That could be useful. Kroq-Gar gaining 2 level ups here. Let's see, obedience brings victory, plus 50% leadership aura size, and plus 5 character aura leadership effect. Or, let's see, what have we here? Some control, corruption, recruitment cost, and ambush success chance. Maybe we can go down this tree here, start leveling up his combat ability. So plus 5% weapon strength and charge bonus, or we could go down this tree and start buffing our Saurus units. Now see, he does have buffs to Saurus units, so I think we should go down the red tree first. So let's get Inspiring Presence, plus 75 unit experience gain per turn, plus 5 character order plus 5 characters aura leadership effect. There we go. If we look at Proud Warrior, so armor and melee attack for Saurus units. This seems to be all about salamanders and hunting packs. This is for Pterodon riders, Ripperdactyl riders, Coatl and Cold One units. Here we have Kroq-Gar, Sacred Kroq-Gar and Temple Guards, Feral Carnosaur and Dread Saurian units, and then over here Stegodon, Feral Troglodon and Ancient Salamander and Bastillodon. Wow, these are really hard for me to pronounce for some reason. So let's go ahead and get a skill in Proud Warrior, +4 melee attack for Saurus units in a Lord's army, very nice. Our Skink Priest here also getting a level up, so we could get Roiling Skies. So, when casting spell, all enemies in range -25% speed and -20 melee defense, but only if they are flying. Let's see, what kind of magic do you have? This is a breath attack. Okay. This one is a hex, -24 melee attack and -30 armor, all enemies in range. And, oh, this one is a bombardment spell. So it causes major magical damage, small strike area, good against armor, good against artillery pieces, and strong versus multiple combatants. Let's go ahead and give our Skink Priest a damage spell. And of course our Scar Veteran, let's go ahead and give him some training before we go into his personal stats. Of course it's not too much XP per turn, but it is better than nothing. The Cursed Jungle here, I don't think we want this building. Yeah, we don't want Kroq-Gars or Skinks for this army, so let's destroy that and get some economy going. And we can, yeah, I don't think we need to recruit anymore. This army is already quite strong. Let's go ahead and check out diplomacy. Doesn't appear to be anything available, so let's go to turn 4. There we go, so nothing happening over the end term there. So far, this the start campaign for Kroq-Gar seems quite passive. Not very many other factions interacting with us. Let's make our way here. So let's go to the edge of the Cursed Jungle, just so we're still getting a bit of replenishment. And then we will make the choice between going to the Serpent Coast. Well, we'll probably go to the Temple of Skulls because it is the capital of this province. And then the Cursed Jungle over here. We can build glowing berry patches, so we would get 20 bundles of medicinal plants. Minus 20% recruitment cost for skink and chameleon skink units. We're not using skinks at the moment, but the resource there could help buff our economy through trade, so let's go ahead and build that. It's only 500 gold. We can also build down here. Let's go ahead and level up our capital to tier 2. Very nice. And then let's check out diplomacy. So the greenskins want a treaty here. I don't think we're going to do that. Yeah, we're already siding with the High Elves, so I'm not a fan of pairing with the greenskins. I don't think the greenskins fit with the Great Plan. Or at least I think so. So let's go ahead to our next turn here. Ah, a new mission. Raise or sack the following number of settlements. Just the one. The messenger Uxmak will bring word of the old ones. Their cohorts must be prepared, and if they are, a sacred spawning will be awarded. So we would get blessed skink skirmishers. Okay, we might recruit those skinks because they are blessed units. So raise or sack the following number of settlements. Can we reach? We can't actually reach anything this turn. Now they are recruiting an army down here, so I am inclined to actually march this way. Our army is damaged though. What stances do we have? Astromancy. So chance of intercepting, ambush, defense chance, vanguard deployment, and campaign line of sight. In camp there. Enables replenishment. There we go. So we might use this one. As long as we don't use up 50. Wow, okay. I think we have to use up 50% of our movement. We really don't have a lot of movement range here, do we? No, we don't. Okay, so we're going to attack these guys next turn. Can we build anything? Not at the moment. Okay, we'll go ahead and check our diplomacy here. The Silver Host Vampire counts. Let's not get on their side either. So it looks like another end turn already. There we go. So the Skaven did in fact have 2 armies here. None of them very big. So let's go down and attack the Serpent Coast here. A decisive victory. We will go ahead and auto-resolve this one. A Scarecrow banner. -8 leadership to all enemies in range, but only if they're flying again. So not the most useful there. The Skaven, of course, have no flying. And we will go ahead and raise this just so we can complete the quest. There we go. And we gained a new trait, +5 leadership when fighting against Skaven. Very nice. And there's the Scarecrow banner. And we did finish this mission. So now we have access to those blessed units. Let's go ahead over to Kroq-Gar because he did gain a level up. So let's go ahead and get another rank in Proud Warrior. There we go, so +3 armor for those Saurus units now. Our Skink Priest also gaining a level up. Let's go ahead and upgrade his Thunderbolt. And our Scar Veteran. Let's give him Predatory Fighter. +5 weapon strength. +5% weapon strength, sorry. And +5 charge bonus. Very nice there. Now, Blessed Spawnings, there we go. They don't cost anything to recruit, so we can just put all 3 into our army like so. Which is quite useful there. And the Rite of Primeval Glory. The Slans summon the fauna of Lustria. The feral beasts of the jungle shall answer. Now, I did test this. I just skipped a load of turns in the starting province. Although it costs 12,000 and you get a very strong army, it bankrupts you extremely quick. So we might have to wait until we raise our gold per turn before we activate that. Well, of course, we definitely will want to activate this one. So Kroq-Gar has used up all of his turn there. We're probably going to go towards the Temple of Skulls. I think this army, it's a bit damaged. Maybe we need to go and heal. First though, let's go ahead and check our diplomacy.
Defender of truth.
There doesn't seem to be too much going on here. How much gold are we making from trade? 136. It's a little bit. So that looks like an end turn there. Let's go ahead to our next turn. Oh, Born Killers. This latest spawning of Saurus warriors appear to be far more belligerent than any you remember in recent times. Ferocity and resolve are called for when combating the foe, but your forces must also consider the great plan's higher purpose and not sacrifice themselves unduly. Will you embrace their vicious nature or order retraining for a more balanced army? So, we can get +7 melee attack for our armies, but -7 melee defense. Or we can get the complete opposite, +7 melee defense, but -7 melee attack for 8 turns. I'm a big fan of melee defense, so let us not be reckless here. Of course, we gotta be calculated carrying out the great plan. And a new technology here. Each spawning of Saurus act as one on the battlefield, acting in a perfectly coordinated manner to crush the enemy of the old ones. +5 melee attack for Saurus units. Very nice there. Now, I did notice the Skaven have a 4-stack here, and we do have a damaged army, so what I'm going to do is actually force march back to the cursed jungle here, just so we can start replenishing. The lizards don't seem to have amazing replenishment here, I'm realizing. Maybe Kroq-Gar has some replenishment in his blue tree, we shall see. But we can unlock a new technology now. We only have one choice. So the Tablet of Spawning, -5% recruitment cost for Skink and Chameleon Skink units. It seems to me that all of these technologies are locked by buildings. So we're going to have to build new buildings to get access to those, but we're currently waiting for tier 2 to unlock another building here. In fact, let's go ahead to our building browser. I imagine, there you go, unlocks technologies. This one doesn't. This one does. So a lot of these seem to unlock technology. This one too. So, kind of an interesting mechanic. I don't think we've played too many factions like that so far. But I think that's all we have to do this turn. Let's go ahead and check out diplomacy. Especially in the early game, it's useful to check every turn, I feel like. But nothing there, that's fine. We will go ahead and end our turn here. Okay, nothing happening on the end turn. Our replenishment really isn't looking so good. Does each settlement replenish a different amount? Will this replenish more just because we have more? Let's see. Does the control have anything to do with replenishment? It doesn't look like it. We could go here, just see if we unlock more replenishment. I don't think the cursed jungle is under threat. So let's try this. Yeah, they do get a lot more replenishment here actually. So I guess we can sit here for a few turns to try and regenerate our army. We can't actually build anything this turn, sadly. So it's back to the good old diplomacy check. Nothing to be done here either. I do wonder, they have quite a few armies now, these Skaven up here. So it could be a few tough battles. And we're not too far off being able to afford the right of primeval glory. So we could even summon this for 12k there. And then maybe dismiss some units to fit the dinos into this army, just so we're not paying the extra gold for having two armies. We'll see, but for now, let's go ahead to turn 9. Okay, nothing happening on the end turn, but we did level up to tier 2 here. Now, do we begin building, or do we wait and spend next turn the 12k on getting some dinosaurs? Dinosaurs do sound very promising, right? We might have to come to the Cursed Jungle though, because Feskit is here with a 4 stack and we do not have a very big garrison. Let's see, can we get within reinforcement range? We can indeed, so let's go here. Just so they can't take this settlement. And I think next turn... Oh, it's a tough one. Yeah, oh, we get casualty replenishment from our growth building. That's why we get the extra replenishment there. Makes sense now. I think we should save up for dinosaurs. Dinosaurs do sound impressive.
Yes.
It's also a quick way to go bankrupt, but I think we can make it work. So, let's not build anything this turn. And then next turn we have access to dinosaurs. So, let's go to turn 10 here. The Savage Blow. Many conflicts are won or lost on the strength of the first vicious charge. Men are sent flying from the battlefield, often in pieces, even before savagery of melee begins. A well-timed charge shatters enemy morale, as well as bodies. Blood and sweat may coat the victors, but victory is always painted in colours such as these. Those at the head of the charge seek ever greater thrills, ever more bloodshed. As the battles become bigger, the body counts grow higher, and the trickles of blood become ever-flowing rivers of red. So plus 20 charge bonus for all armies of all factions. That is actually very good for us, I believe. Our Scar Veteran also gaining a level up there. So let's see, we can give him some weapon strength as... Oh, wow, massive weapon strength when fighting against Skaven. We can give him some armor, some melee attackable leadership. I'm actually tempted to go in Force of Order, just because that's a huge plus 12% weapon strength there, as we are currently fighting against Skaven. So let's do that. The Skaven there also using the Underway. Maybe they're attempting to assault our capital here. Let's see, do I think I can take them on in a battle? I'm not too sure. They've given us an ultimatum here as well, like, do we defend the Cursed Jungle or do we defend our capital? I think always the capital. But first, let's go ahead and perform the Rite of Primeval Glory. Oh, this is a quick way. Or should we fight first? I think we can beat this army. Oh, they're just outside of our movement range, actually. I think we have to defend our capital, right? There's no way. Yeah, let's go to our capital. I have a plan. If they do attack this, it's fine. We'll just attack it and take it back. We've only spent 500 gold here, and I think we've already earned that back, so it's fine. And what we will do is activate the Rite of Primeval Glory. We also get an army ability here. The Feral Cold Ones, it's a summon unit. Let's go ahead and perform this. Oh, look at the gold per turn at the top. We're at minus 2.2k gold. Yes. So we're not going to be taking any attrition this turn, but next turn we will be. It's okay, we can march the dinos down here. Of course, plenty of stegodons there. Also some bastillodons, but the ones that I'm really interested here, the 2 carnosaurs. Of course, Kroq-Gar does get a carnosaur mount as well. Let's see if we have any diplomacy. The Bowmen of Orion now do in fact want a non-aggression pact. So let's go ahead and negotiate this. There we go, a tiny bit of gold there. We can not get any more trade agreements though, which kind of sucks. We need the gold. But for now, this should be okay. So let's go ahead and end the turn and see what the Skaven do here. We have gone bankrupt. Our coffers are empty. This will have dire consequences for our dependents and soon. So of course we are taking attrition now because we are bankrupt. But I think we can fix it this turn. And a new technology, recruitment cost -5% for skink and chameleon skink units. And a new right unlocked. Awakening a mage priest from his contemplation must not be done lightly, but those that are roused add their unfathomable power to the great purpose. So of course we can now do the Rite of Awakening, but we do have a cooldown because we just used a rite. So the upkeep of this army is 2.7k. Now, we are only minus 2.2k. Can we get these armies to meet up? If we force march this one, I think so, right? So if we go here, and then go here, we can exchange some units. So, what do we want? 100% we want the Feral Carnosaurs. I think that's definite. I don't think I really care for Bastillodons. The Stegodons, though, I think I do want. The question is how many. So, let's do that for now. Let's get rid of these skink cohorts. We already have a Stegodon here as well. Maybe this cold one, Spear Rider, isn't... Oh, but they are quite good. Now, we don't need them. We have bigger dinosaurs. And then maybe we just get rid of some of these Saurus Spear units. In fact, if we do this, because they're all a similar rank anyway, let's do this. There we go. We can do this. Let's do this. Now we just need to get rid of 2 more units. So let's get rid of our Cold One Spear Riders and let's get rid of one of our Blessed Skink Skirmishers. There we go. If we exchange there, that's... Wow, upkeep is 4.2k. What's the upkeep of this one? 1.7k. It would almost make us even. So let's go ahead and disband these units. And also disband this unit. And there we go, we're in the positive. So we now have this amazing army to go and stomp for Skaven with. We do have some research available here. A sequence of skink spawning, +2 recruitment rank for skink units. Yes, yes, let's get that. Wait, I'm not Skaven, why did I say that? But now, oh, look at this, so many dinosaurs. We can definitely go and take on the Skaven. But sadly, that's all I have time for this episode. We've already been recording for just over an hour now. Thank you guys so much for the support. The channel support has been amazing in the last few weeks, so thank you. And where would you like me, like to see Kroq-Gar to go in this campaign? Of course, we're going to take out the Skaven. We have to go south to take out the Skaven too. But what would you like us to see us do? Exterminate all of the... let's say, factions that go against the plan, or, yeah, I don't know, give me some ideas in the comments below. But thank you for watching. I'll be back tomorrow with another episode, so see you then.